What's up guys, it's Preacher back again, and today we're going to be blowing your mind with some wizardry. We are going Harry Potter on style on this one. We are playing a Restoration Shaman, and I'm going to take a green geared Restoration Shaman straight out of level 85 box. Nothing to him whatsoever. We're not going to enchant him, we're not going to reforge him. We're going to throw him straight into Heroic and show you that you can go in there and you can do the business with some very basic ideas and understanding about being a healer and about being a Restoration Shaman. Far too often we see that healers feel the need and are berated by others in the group for getting overgeared before they even bother getting into the Heroic. We need a few items. I'll play a DPS at first, and I'll get a couple of items first, and then I'll go and heal. And I'm not going to do anything else before that. Balls to that. Today we are doing the masterclass. We are going in there. We're going to take our Shaman. We're going to heal that Heroic, and at the end of the day, we're going to be stood there going, "You don't need it. You do not need it." Any drawbacks you have in your character are covered by a 15% buff that you get in those dungeons. So if you want to get confident, you want to feel good about yourself, there's nothing more confident than going into that Heroic dungeon on your low level character, healing it. Every item you get after that just makes your life easier. Make it hard on yourself. There's nothing more confidence boosting than taking something poor, this poor lump of clay sat on my table, he's not even ready for a Heroic. Garbage. If you can get into that dungeon, you're ready for that Heroic. So let's take a look at what we're playing with today. Level 85, Spec Restoration, item level 334. Remember, 329 is what we need to get into our Heroics. He's barely covering the service. How did we even manage to get that item level? Pretty much, I built this because I'm an alchemist. Dead easy, you can make it Alchemy 500. As soon as you hit level 80, you've got a 359 trinket in your bag. Put it on, get it there, gem it with some intellect, and let's go. I'm going to talk over what you should be doing as a Restoration Shaman, but then I'm going to bring it back to what I've done with my Shaman to make it so much harder on myself. I want to pick plate difficulty so I know that you guys who've got probably a few more items than me should not have any trouble at all. So that's how I'm going to play. That's the mindset I want to put into you, some confidence boost. If I can do it, you guys can do it, okay? So, quick overview of the gear. We've got some 333 gloves, green 318 belt, 318 legs, 333 boots, 316 ring. We've got a Heroic ring that we picked up when I played Elemental. We've got our trinket, we've got our rain song level 316, a 308 relic, a 312 shield, a 333 weapon, 333 braces, 333 chest, a 333 cape. I feel like I'm saying 333 a lot. Are you getting that as well? 333 shoulders, 333 neck, and finally a 346 helmet that we picked up with our level injustice points, okay, that we picked up as we've gone through. So I leveled as Elemental on this guy, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do Elemental first, I'm going to do Restoration, and beyond that I'm not going to do the reforging and stuff. But because it's you guys and you want to know about that stuff, I'm going to talk about it anyway, give you an idea of what we want. So, as a healer, what stats are going through our mind? Number one, intellect. We need to get our intellect up. Intellect equals spell power, equals more mana, everything benefits from intellect, okay? So we want to bump our intellect up, so when it comes to our gemming, we are getting as much intellect as we possibly can on our items. After that, as a healer, comes spirit. What does spirit do? Spirit regens our mana. It regens it faster when we're out of combat, and it also regens it while we're in combat, okay? So that is going to be giving you mana back. So you can take your 72.4k mana, but you can't actually understand exactly how much mana you've got, because your spirit is always giving you mana back, okay? Crit. Crit is very nice now. Healers are getting 200% crits. What does that mean? When you crit your heal, in the past it did 150%. So a 1k heal would be 1500. Now that 1k crit heal, if your 1k heal crits, it's actually going to be 2k, okay? Very simple basic maths. We're obviously healing for a lot more now, it's Cataclysm. Then we've got some haste. How good is haste? Haste is very, very good, okay? Haste is going to affect a few spells that we have, giving them extra ticks, okay? So you're going to be looking, there's some specific numbers that I'm going to put to you in the more advanced guide, levels of haste, where haste gives us an extra tick on our Riptide, an extra tick on our Earth Living Weapon, an extra tick on our Healing Rain, these sort of things. So you have haste barriers, like, I'll put it very simply for you. Let's say we had 10 haste, now don't take these numbers literally, guys. At 10 haste, we get an extra tick of our Riptide. We're then not going to get another tick till we get another 10 haste, if you understand? So through 10 through 20 is not going to benefit us as much. It's going to increase our spell casting, it's certainly going to reduce our global cooldown, but in terms of what we're actually after, which is these extra ticks on our already used spells, they come in blocks. So I'll do that in the more advanced guide. How good is crit? Well, as we just said, we get 200% crit, which kind of boosts the idea of crit. We're certainly not going to be reforging towards crit. And what does Mastery do for our Shaman? Let's have a quick summary of that. Deep healing, increase the potency of your healing spells by 35% based on the current health level of your target. So what does mastery do? The lower health the people, the more healing we do to them. So you might think in a raid setting where people are either topped or really low, mastery's a little bit, in certain fights mastery's going to be fantastic. You take a fight like Beth Tilak, where all the raid is low all the time, mastery is going to be absolutely hump worthy. We're going to be stroking that mastery button all day. When it comes to things where we're just topping off, it's not going to be that great. The guys are already high health, mastery's kind of letting us down a little bit there, okay? But we'll get into that later. So in terms of reforging, we want male items. Remember, you want your bonuses from having all male items. We want male items with spirit and intellect. So those are our bread and butter. That's what we absolutely love. We then want to get some haste. So we're getting these extra ticks. And after that, we're going to be bumping up our crit a little bit. And again, as a Resto Shaman, if you're raiding, you can think about the fight. I know a lot of Resto Shamans now actually reforge their gear for certain fights because it's more beneficial. As I said, if there's a raid boss where the raid is always low health, mastery's going to come out king. If it's not that case, then crit's going to be a little bit nicer. Okay, guys, you understand what I'm saying there? Different things, different gearing for different situations. You might see that as a pain in the ass, and you might go with a normal standard build. Nothing wrong with that. Keep it as is. But in terms of being a top-end healer, which we're certainly not in our little shaman here, you're going to be thinking about changing your gear around based on what you do. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time looking at gear. As you can see, it's all male. Not all of it has spirit on. This is what I'm saying to you. This is our very basic setup. See, ring, no spirit on that. We've got a very lowly trinket. Not even a gem in our relic. We are the balls. Worst healer you've ever seen come into your heroic dungeon. I'm about to be there, guys. If you are the lucky people to be joined with me in the next heroic group, I feel sorry for you, but you're not going to be surprised at the end of it when you're all still alive, because I'm going to ball this up like a total boss, and we're going to see how we can get on. So, what do we need to do to prepare our shaman? Well, first of all, let's spec him. Let's have a look at our talent trees. So obviously, restoration goes without saying. Tidal focus, reduce the mana cost of your healing spells by 6%. Let's take a brief look at what happened in Wrath of the Lich King to now. Wrath of the Lich King, healers had infinite mana. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely stupid. The designers of World of Warcraft, our lovely friends at Blizzard who've created this wonderful game, went, what have we done with healers? They just have so much mana. They never run out of mana. Mana's not a concern. They're just spamming the raid constantly. So we had to design raid bosses that were constantly throwing more damage at the raid to cope with the fact that healers didn't have a care in the world about their mana. This time they changed it around. They made healing a little bit more intensive. They've created a sort of whack-a-mole game. We've got various different heals that we're going to play with, and then choosing on them is how much mana we're going to spend. Okay, so first of all, Tidal Focus, let's get our mana cost down. We then put up Spark of Life, increase your healing done by 6%. How fatty. It increases your own healing taken, which makes it easy to top yourself while you're talking the rest of the group up, but in general it's a boost to our healing by 6%. Happy. Resurgence. Every time we crit a heal, which makes crit more valuable from our talents, as I said, and our reforging, we're going to get some mana back from our water shield. So very important that we keep water shield on ourselves all the time. Put it on a nice, quick, easy bind. And what you'll find is in areas where there's damage flying around, it's great for Shaman, because we're going to get hit, we're going to get a water shield proc, and our mana's going to prop itself back up. Really good. So Tonic Focus, we need to keep totems down all the time. We are a Shaman, and this doesn't just go for restoration, this goes for enhancement, elemental. Totems are your signature ability, such as a Paladin's Blessings, okay? It's a rogue not doing tricks of the trade. Not dropping totems is a hunter not misdirecting. It's a fire mage not using living bomb. It's just piss poor, guys, and we need to buff the group and do everything we can. When we go into the dungeon, we're going to check out who's in our group, and then we're going to say, okay then, okay, you're in that group giving that buff. I'm going to modify my totems so I give a different buff, okay? Dead easy. We then move down to Ancestral Healing. It's a nice buff to tanks. When we crit, they're going to get a nice physical damage reduction, okay? And the less damage they take, the less healing we have to do, the more mana we're going to have overall. We've taken Nature's Swiftness for those super emergency situations. We need to fly out that heal very quickly. We need to get a guy topped. We were having a drink. The guy didn't give a care in the world. He's run off. He's pulled. We need to get over there and get a big heal. Nature's Swiftness, 2-minute cooldown. Throw that big fatty heal on him straight away. Nature's Blessing. Increase the effectiveness of our heals and our Earth Shielded targets. Earth Shield is going to be healing on our tank all the time. Our Earth Shield is going to be on the guy taking all the damage. So healing our tank is going to be easy, about 18%. We then took Soothing Rains. Increase the amount healed by a Healing Stream totem and our Healing Rain spell. Now, I will say in this early days is Healing Rain costs us a tremendous amount of mana. Shall we do a test, guys? Let's Click our healing rain, drop it ourselves, watch the mana bar. Holy cow, look at that. So much mana. It costs us a fortune, guys. We are not going to be playing a lot with healing rain in these early days of playing the game. It's really, really expensive, okay? We've taken improved cleanse spirit. So our cleanse spirit, which usually removes a curse, now also removes a magic effect. This is very, very important. There's lots of magic debuffs flying around, and often it's a counterbalance. If a magic dot is going to do 2,000 or even 10,000 damage, and one cleanse removes it, it's then saved us 2 heals or so to get it back up there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Makes it very easy, stops all the incoming damage, allows you more time to sort the group out. We've taken 1 point in cleansing waves, just to cheapen that cleanse spirit a little bit, and also heal the target every time we do it. Just gives it that little buffer. Real nice. Ancestral Awakening we've taken. When we critically heal a single target heal, you summon an Ancestral Spirit to aid you. A little bit of extra free healing, okay? Instantly just spawns a little thing that's going to help you heal out. Mana Tide Totem, vital to the group and really good for everybody else, okay? We're going to drop our Mana Tide Totem. It's going to give us all some mana back, okay? So we're going to be using that. It's great in raids and great for us when the situation gets dire. Our mana's low, get the Mana Tide down, top all our manas up as much as it can possibly do. And then we need to remember to drop another totem after it's run out, okay? Remember that totem's going to run out very quickly. We need to replace it. Telluric Currents, very important as an early days shaman, is to just use our lightning bolt when we can to get ourselves some mana back, okay? As the more intellect we get, this is what I'm talking about intellect for, the more your lightning bolt's going to hit for, the more mana you're going to get back from it, okay? It becomes really nice. Spirit Link Totem, our major raid cooldown. You've seen the power word barrier from the Discipline Priest and so on. Ours is our Spirit Link Totem. It's far more powerful, really, really good cooldown. It's going to reduce the damage by 10%. It's also going to balance everybody's HP. So if you've got a few guys who are really low and you want to sort that out, drop your Spirit Link, stop the incoming damage by 10%, and also prop up everybody else's health. It's a huge heal if it's done correctly, okay? Really does help the raid out. Tidal Waves. When you cast a Chain Heal or a Riptide, we gain this effect, this self-buff, which allows our other heals to be faster casted, okay? It increases the crit on your Healing Surge. Now, we're going to be avoiding Healing Surge as much as possible. It's our big, fast heal and costs a ton of mana. So we're not going to try and use that a lot. We're using this talent, really, to buff our other heals and make them faster, our cheaper heals, our cheaper, more efficient heals. So Riptide is going to be our #1 button to press. Blessing and Eternal grants an additional 80% chance to trigger your Earth Living Heal over time effect when you heal anyone who is below 35% health. What is Earth Living? Well, as a shaman, you know you imbue your weapons with certain abilities. As a healer, we put Earth Living on our weapons, so our heals then add another hot. Hot is not a dot, it's not damage, it's healing over time. It's free healing, it's really, really nice. It boosts our healing anyway, so now we've got this extra hot. And finally, the star of the show, this superstar ability, Riptide. It is ridiculously cheap, guys, and it lasts so long. This is when haste comes into its own, okay? Everybody who's got Riptide on him and then gets chain healed gets another buff. Riptide is beautiful. We're going to be using Riptide on cooldown. It costs us nothing, 2,000 mana. It's so cheap. We want to use it all the time. What else to be spec into? We took improved shields, so when we were talking about our water shield earlier, it's now going to heal. Going to give us that little touch more mana. Wonderful. Elemental weapons boosts our Earth Living weapon, and we've got that on all the time. Great talent. We've also take Acuity, increase our critical strike chance with all spells by 3%. As I said, we want our heals to heal, to crit, so we get that extra 200% healing. With Acuity, we've just boosted that by 3% flat out. No problems whatsoever, okay? Very understandable, easy to use talent tree, nothing to mess around with, really nice. Let's look at our glyphs. Earth Shield. We're going to have Earth Shield on 100% of the time. We're going to focus our main tank. We're going to Earth Shield him so we can see how long that Earth Shield lasts. And the Glyph of Earth Shield is going to boost that healing by 20%. Really good. It allows us to focus on other aspects of the fight. We've taken Glyph of Riptide to increase the duration of Riptide by 40%. It's going to last that a little bit longer. Really nice. And we're going to spam it on cooldown so we can have Riptides going on various people all the time. We've also glyphed our Earth Living weapon again. Increased the healing of that dot, that hot, should I say, by another 20%. We've then gone with Glyph of Chain Heal. It allows our heal to hit another person. Really good. Okay? It decreases the heal on the first person, but as you'll know, in a lot of AoE situations, everyone's taking